Hello everyone. So let's start with chapter number 3, purchasing activities. As you see in the previous chapter, we discussed the pre-purchasing activity till RFQ. Now the actual purchasing activity will start, which will cover supplier selection, negotiation and awarding. So before we discuss about the purchasing activities, let's define the 5 rights of procurement. These 5 rights are exercised by any procurement function anywhere in the world. These 5 rights are right price, right quality, right quantity, right place, and right time. So, right price. Whenever any price has been agreed with the supplier, a supplier has no rights to change those prices except of course under certain situation where there is a variation in the specification or variation in the scope of work or there is any force majeure situation. Other than that, a supplier is never allowed to change the prices what has been agreed, and the purchaser has a complete right to reject any price variation. Now the next right of a purchaser is right quantity. There is a specified quantity in the purchase order or in the contract, and the purchaser has full right to get complete quantity from the supplier. Any short supply can be raised complaint by the purchaser, and purchaser has full rights to reject such a supply when there is a short supply. Because if there is a short supply, the purchaser may have to source those difference in the actual quantity minus the supplied quantities from somewhere else, and this will create additional efforts and additional cost for the purchaser. Also, this can cause big delays to the requesting department. Hence, it's very important to get the right quantity from the supplier which was agreed. Then is the right place. Whenever there is a purchase order released, there is a term called Incoterm. We will discuss the Incoterm later in this course, in this section. An Incoterm will specify the rights and obligations of each party as to where the goods has to be delivered. So it's normally agreed between a purchaser and a supplier as to where the goods has to be supplied. Maybe it has to be supplied till the supplier, till the buyer's factory. And if the supplier fails to deliver the goods till the buyer's factory, the buyer has a complete right to reject this item. So the place is the third rights of a purchasing team. Now is the right time. As informed in earlier section, there is a delivery deadline by which the goods has to be delivered, and this delivery deadline is normally accepted by the supplier only when there is an agreement on the delivery time. Then the purchase order or contract is released. So when there is an agreement for the delivery time, and if the supplier doesn't is not able to meet the delivery deadline, the purchaser has complete right to decline such a supply. Now the right number 5 is quality. As informed in the previous chapter of pre-purchasing, the specification is very clearly stated to the supplier, and the agreed level of quality is been communicated. Hence, if the supplier is not able to meet those specifications which has been stipulated, the purchaser has complete right to reject that particular item or service. So once you are fully aware about these five rights, the right quality, right quantity, right place, right time, right price, then you should be following all the necessary steps to exercise these rights to get the best value for money spent. Now let's start with the purchasing cycle. We have to see the supplier selection. So once we have sent the RFQ or ITT, and once we get the quotations and proposals from various suppliers, we will have the purchaser normally will make a comprehensive comparison sheet. Please have a look. I have attached here a picture of a comparison sheet which you can see on your screen. So as you can see in the comparison, there are three suppliers, supplier A, B and C, and there are three items. So how will you evaluate this comparison sheet? Before we look at the prices of each suppliers, the purchaser has to ensure that all amounts are mentioned in common currency. So all the suppliers should have mentioned the prices in the common currency, say euro or US dollar. It should not happen that supplier A has given the currency euro and supplier B has given the currency in Chinese yuan. If it's like that, we have the purchaser has to convert it in a common currency. Also, we have to ensure that it has the same Incoterm. Like suppose if supplier A is supplying the item from his factory and supplier B is supplying the goods till the purchaser's factory, then we have to add freight cost to suppliers A total cost so that we get a proper comparison. Also, we have to also consider the other features like the shelf life, operating life, warranty of the parts, production speed, etc. Now in this comparison, as you can see, all the suppliers have quoted in same currency. All of them have provided the same Incoterms, which is X work, so no need to add any freight. Now you see the payment terms. The payment term for supplier A and B is the same, 30 days, which means the payment has to be done after 30 days. Supplier C, the payment term is 90 days. So suppose if it's a significant amount, let's say 50,000 euro or more, this payment term has a big role. So suppose there is the currently the interest rate is going on at say 5 at 7%. So we have to add 7% for the additional 60 days for supplier A and supplier B so that there is a proper comparison. So 7% to the total amount of supplier A and supplier B can be added so that it is equivalent to the payment terms of open account, open credit 90 days. Now you see the warranty period for supplier A and B is 1 year, but for supplier C is 2 years. So as a good purchaser, will ask supplier A and B for an extended warranty of another 1 year, and that the cost, the prices which supplier A and B will provide for an extended warranty will be compared with supplier C. So this way, a proper comparison can be achieved by ensuring that there is a uniform values mentioned in it, and based on that, the quotation can be evaluated.